Well, welcome back to the Grapple Theory podcast. We're joined by a very special guest today, someone who is joining the two-time guest appearance on the podcast club, which is, I need to think of a shorter name for that, but we'll think about that later. Delighted to welcome Ivy to the show. Ivy, thanks so much for being here. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for having me.
No, of course.
I don't grace many people twice, so you should...
I'm honoured. I am honoured. I'm truly honoured. It's great to have you back. Obviously, it's been a couple of years since we last spoke on the podcast. Yeah, like we were talking about off camera, I think it's fair to say a lot's changed for you in that time.
Yeah, just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Yeah, you've had a bit going on, haven't you?
Yeah, bit of a busy time.
I was gonna say it's fair to say I think that it's been a pretty good year for you in the ring, right?
Yeah, I've got no complaints.
A lot of gold.
I think I'm gonna say picking up a couple titles here and there. So
yeah, it's got to be nice. That's got to be nice.
Yeah, it's great when obviously companies are happy to put their sort of faith and back you up, so that's always nice.
Yeah, that we talk about it a lot with people who have like won titles, but in terms of like just that, I guess, like appreciation, knowing that like you're someone that the promoter has looked at and been like, we want you to have the title. It must be like a really validating feeling that you're doing the right thing. Yeah,
very much so. Just to, because when you get the title, you tend to be on most of those shows as well. So it's the promoter saying to you, we want you here, month in, month out. That the fans have obviously got a connection to you. So yeah, it's a great thing to have.
Yeah. Are they? Have you had to buy like extra luggage to make sure you're carrying them everywhere?
Oh yeah, the amount of times I go to get in the car. And Brady will be like, have you got the belt? No, I don't. Or like we've got down the road and I had to come back and get it because I've forgotten them. So
I was going to say, we mentioned like, again, before recording your photo, like pretty, I love the photo. It's really iconic now, like with Nina Samuels and all the belts laid out on the table. Do you carry all those belts to every show?
No, I think I'd seen Nina maybe the week before and she was like, shall we do a picture with everything? So I just shoved them all in the boot of the car. And I almost left that day without, I think it was at Eve, and I almost left without thinking about it. And she was like, Ivy, belts. Like, yeah, okay, go and get them. So I was just like running through the car park with all these belts and everyone's staring at me like, what are you doing? Like, you'll see.
It's a good problem to have. It's a good problem to have when you've got too many belts.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was like, you should have seen us with the photo shoot, like organising them in like size order. And one was like, didn't really move, like you could only have it as a circle, so we were like, this one has to go in the back, and then the white ones need to be next to each other, and
proper organised.
It was a whole thing.
Had to make sure all the aesthetics were there.
That's it, yeah.
Brilliant. Well, again, we were saying off camera, like, yeah, Nina's really screwed you over there, hasn't she? Like, just going on to, like, since that photo was taken, and winning, like, 3 more belts, like...
Yeah, it's disgraceful. I thought we were in this together, and she's just shot off and taken over. I said to you, I'm going to have to, I think me and Nina need a match I need to take some of these off of her.
I was going to say, we need that. We need the decider of, like, who is literally the queen of British wrestling.
Yeah.
Because, like, she's got 8 belts, you got 4 belts, that's 12 belts total. That's basically, like, I know there's more promotions than that, but, like...
I've got 5.
Oh, you got 5? Yeah, of course. Yeah. Sorry. I was missing out the tag belt.
Yeah, I've got 5.
Oh my god.
Yeah. But like me and Nina never get to wrestle each other because we're both bad guys. So nobody ever books us against one another.
Yeah, but like you could do a little face turn for a show, right? You could do a little. Or would you not want to? Would that be like?
Although I'm face at Eve, so I guess.
I was gonna say, like, we're gonna get onto that in a sec. Like, I had that to ask you, but like, was that surprising to you guys? So you are booed everywhere, and then you guys debuted at Eve as the Decibelles, and they love you there.
Yeah. Well, Dan had said to us before, because we spoke about coming in together and stuff, and never even crossed our minds that we wouldn't be the heels. Like, never even thought about it. And then we've got a group chat with him, me and Lana, and he was like, how do you feel about being the baby faces? And we were like, no, why would you put us in that position? Everyone's going to hate us. We can't do that. We can't do it. It's not going to work. And even going into the match, we were like, we'll just beat us. And if it doesn't work and people boo us, our point is proven to Dan that it's not going to work. And then turns out Dan was actually correct.
It turns out that sometimes Dan does know what he's talking about,
yeah,
right?
I know. And we said to him, like, as much as I don't want to admit this to you, this time you were right.
I was going to say, because, like, I went into that show, like, wait, I was like, they're going to be the heels. I was like, I don't know how that's going to work, because I just know you got booed everywhere else, so it seems natural. That but again, you sort of acted the same as you do everywhere as well. So it's really bizarre that the crowd were just like, hell yeah.
That was the main thing we said going into it. Whatever happens, we don't want to be any different to what we are everywhere else. Obviously, there's slight tweaks we can make in terms of the gimmick stuff we do, like with the loser book and how we react to the crowd. But our main thing was like, do not change. Because the best thing about us is our chemistry and how we work together. So what we didn't want to do is take, strip that back and get rid of that, because we're trying to be something we're not.
Yeah, that is really important.
It was great.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's like really cool to see as well. Like you guys together, like it works so well. I was going to ask, like, how does that come about? Like, in terms of behind the scenes, I guess you and Lana chatting. Like, where did the idea come from that this is what you wanted to do?
So, like, me and Lana, we probably started getting close kind of just after COVID. And just, seeing each other at shows. And the way that we sort of view wrestling, I think, is quite similar. We're a similar age. We're quite a bit older than some of the other girls. So, we, similar outside of wrestling. And I was watching how her character had kind of progressed at Progress. And she was doing, the sort of Queen of Mean stuff, and I just loved it. And we always used to kind of joke together, like, can you imagine the two of us together, like how loud it would be, and, how mean we could be to everyone. And then we said, do you know what, like, this could work. And I was in touch with SovPro, and they sort of said, hey, if you've got any ideas as to what you want to do, let us know, and we can look at it. And I know they contacted Lana separately to me, and me and Lana spoke and said, well, why don't we try it here? Like, is this new promotion worth a shot? And we messaged them, and they were instantly like, yep, we're doing that, absolutely, let's do that. So it was just natural, I think, really. Yeah,
and it's got to be nice, like you say, like that debut together, when again, like, the crowd hate you, getting all the boos, and like I imagine that's exactly the reaction you guys wanted. And, like, to know that it sort of paid off straight away must be a really validating feeling.
Yeah, and the debut was incredible because, like, I was already booked on a show. I was wrestling Aurora Tevez. And it was in Manchester, so Lana was just going to come down anyway. And we was like, well, why don't we do the introduction now while Lana's here? Because nobody will be expecting it because she's not booked on the show anyway. So we got a giant Easter Bunny costume. And Lana came out at the end of the match and just attacked Aurora Tevez with a Cadbury's Easter egg.
Yeah.
Like, she hit Aurora so hard in the head with the egg that she had the words Cadbury imprinted on her forehead.
No, did she?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. And then as soon as she took the bunny head off, it was just a reaction. Like, you could just hear the groans of everyone, like, no. And then as they realised what was going on, and we got the boos and the chants. I think we got a Decibelles chant pretty soon into debuting there. So, yeah, it was great, and the debut was so fun.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's just a wild idea. I mean, like, I understand it in terms of, like, the time of year and stuff. It makes sense. But, like, I mean, Lana's just, like, so game for anything. Just being like, yeah, just bunny outfit, why not?
Yeah. Well, we got the whole idea of, Lana comes out at the end. Nobody was, there was no indication that me and Lana were tagging together. We'd not teased anything, nothing at all. And I think one day, one of the guys from SovPro just sent me a message saying, hey, we've got a giant Easter Bunny costume. We're going to put Lana in it. And I was like, okay, sure. Yeah, okay, let's go with that. And
I was going to ask where it came from. I was like, I'm sure Lana doesn't just, like, have one lying about. Like,
no, it was them. And they'd said it to me, and I had the fear that they were going to turn up with, like, a terrible, just, like, mask and a little bunny tail, and they turned up with full, like, big head, white and pink Easter Bunny costume. It wasn't what I was expecting, put it that way.
The question's got to be asked, why do they have an Easter Bunny costume lying around?
I think they rented it, but Brady asked me if I'd still got, I can't even remember what it was for. He said to me the other day, we still got the Easter Bunny costume for something he wanted to do.
I don't want to know why Brady wanted that. What is Brady doing with that? Come on.
I can't even remember what it was about. Actually, I tell you what, it was at True Grit the other day. Me and Lana helped me win, so she was doing a run-in. Again, we weren't a thing there at True Grit. So he said, have you got the Easter Bunny costume? Can she do that again? I was like, no.
Oh, okay. He wanted it for Lana, okay. Because I would have been concerned if Brady wanted it for himself.
Who knows? I wouldn't be surprised.
And that's the next iteration.
Yeah, that's
of
it.
Brady Phillips, just the muscly bunny.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But we have pet rabbits. We do pet rabbits, so the bunnies are a running theme in our house.
I was going to say, I remember you saying last time, how are they doing?
Really good, yeah. Really, really good. They're underneath my feet now.
Are they?
Yeah. So if I squeal at any point...
That's fine, we'll know. We'll know. That's pretty adorable, though. I like that. You just let them, run around the apartment? Yeah,
they've got their own bedroom. And then the bedroom door gets closed when we're not here, but for the rest of the time they've got free roam.
Just free roam.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. They don't go very far. They occasionally come into our bedroom, and they get halfway down the stairs and kind of think better of it. Turn around, so.
They're like, no, if I go all the way down, I won't make it back up.
Yeah, they're like, I know where the food is, I'm just going to stay here.
That's all that matters. It'll come to me, it's fine.
Yeah, they're very comfortable, put it that way. They're not, I feel like even if I opened the front door to them, they'd be like, nah, I'm all right, thanks. I get all the lettuce I want here.
No, I get it. Yeah, we had guinea pigs, me and my partner, up until last year, and they were very much the same. Just stay where you are. The food will come to you. And sometimes they run into the bedroom and try and get under the bed, and that's it.
Yeah, they're not daft, are they? They know where the bread's buttered.
Yeah, exactly. Then they get under the bed and you just rattle the bag of parsley, and they're like, okay.
Oh, okay, I see what's going on.
I'll come back.
Yeah, the rabbits are on a schedule, so they have their food at certain times of the day, just based on me getting up and stuff. And if it's a minute past the time, they come into the bedroom and they'll just sit and stare at you until you give in to whatever time it is.
Oh.
I mean a minute. So they get us a little treat at 4:00. 1 minute past 4, they'll be in there staring at you.
I know exactly what you mean. Ours was the same. We had a cage for them, but it's obviously a big ground cage, and so you leave it open even overnight. But again, you say, 1 minute past feed time, and they're still rattling the cage as if they're trying to get out. But you're the cage is open, just come out, it's fine.
Yeah, they're just trying to get your attention.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, where's the food?
Yeah, I'm going to keep doing this until you give me what I want.
And it works, I'll tell you what, because even on a Saturday, if it's 8:30 and you're trying to lie in, but there's this rattling from the other room, you're like...
Yeah. And on a Saturday, if I because I normally get up about 8:30, but on a Saturday, if I don't have to get up, I will get up around that time and just be like, I'm just going to feed you and go back to sleep because it's not worth the punishment I'll get.
Yeah, it's not worth the chaos.
No.
I like how this has become the pets podcast.
I know.
We got to do that. That's got to be the next...
to talk about the bunnies and I'm involved.
There's got to be the next iteration of this, I feel like. There's so many people we've had on who have got pets that just end up talking about them for ages. That, that's just going to be the next level.
That's anybody that is into their pets, I'm up for it because...
we'll do a round table of discussion.
Yeah. Everybody with the different pets will have to get one of everything.
Yeah. But not anyone, not children, though. That's too far.
No, we don't.
No, you don't need to go there. Don't need to go there. No. It's weird, because I mentioned that. I was going to ask, actually going back to all your belts, I was going to ask, is it like children where you secretly have a favourite but you can't tell them?
Yeah, I think I do have a favourite.
Go on.
The True Grit one.
Yeah?
The True Grit one, yeah, it's beautiful.
It is beautiful. Lovely.
Yeah, I'm the first person to have it as well, so it's shiny until I got blood on it that time and I had to clean that off.
But the next person is just tarnished from now. You obviously being the first.
That's it,
you had it brand new, sparkling clean. Whoever gets it after you, I mean, no one will because you're going to hold it for
forever.
Yeah. But if anyone, when you retire and pass it off, then that person's going to be it's all scarred, you know what I mean? It's been through the wars. It's just never the same.
Exactly. I've got a case for that one as well, so that one gets looked after.
Extra special.
Yeah.
Proper, almost secret agent type thing, carrying it by your side through the train station.
Yeah. Although the first time after I won it, I took it to the next show. And I'd not even looked in the case. And then there was just this panic of like, wait, it's definitely the right one. I was going to get there and it was going to be like the Wrestle Carnival charity or something. I was going to be like, oh, sorry.
Just come out with the wrong belt. Like, I am the champ, I swear, I promise.
Just have to hide it. Like, yeah, this is the right one.
Brilliant. You mentioned Wrestle Carnival. I want to talk to you about Wrestle Carnival because this is going to go out next week before Wrestle Carnival's sort of like indefinite hiatus show.
Yeah.
And obviously, I assume first off the bat before we talk about Carnival as a promotion, I assume off the bat you're facing a Luna Blue, right?
Yeah.
I assume you want to sort of kick her ass and go into this hiatus that they're having as the forever champ.
Yeah, of course. It's a hiatus, so the way I look at it as every day still counts towards the title reign. We don't stop. So obviously I can keep going, and I feel like I'll get a decent amount of days out of it if I keep going.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely. Like,
and I love wrestling a Luna Blue. I was really happy when I was told that's who it was. We always have a great time whenever we wrestle, so it was a good one to kick off the hiatus.
Yeah. Hopefully it won't be the last Carnival show, but if it is, I mean, that's a great match to end on. Like,
yeah. Fingers crossed. I mean, it's Gary's been great to me in terms of how he's pushed me and the matches he's given me and that sort of stuff. And to be honest, if it wasn't for Gary, I don't know if the Decibels would have come about, because the Carnival show, I think it was probably the first one back after COVID. It might be slightly later. I wrestled Lana, and that was where we kind of got really close because we had such a good match that day. So if it wasn't for Carnival, I don't know whether it would have ended up that way.
Gary Ward, butterfly affecting the entire Decibels reign here. This is...
I know. Don't tell him, though. I don't want to give him any...
Don't want him getting any more credit.
Any extra praise. Yeah. No, honestly, fingers crossed he does come back, because I've got nothing but good things to say about Wrestle Carnival. I've loved everything I've done there. He's given me some great matches. I've got to wrestle people like Rain, Jetta. I've not wrestled before, so yeah, it's been good. Yeah,
no, I love that. And also it's got to be like, but also like, I was going to say, you say that, but then you sort of, again, also want the forever reign. So like, he's going to be calling you being like, we're coming back, and you'll be like, no, next week, it's fine.
Yeah,
it's fine, just extend the days.
Like 500 days or something, and I'm like, oh, can you push it a week?
Yeah. Get over 1,000 days and then we'll come back.
Yeah.
That'd be good. No, that would be good. And like, again, yeah, like you say, Gary's done some great work. Carnival's been like a really like positive place, especially like obviously since their debut post-COVID. And like they seem to have had a great run. So hopefully, touch wood, they'll be back at some point.
Yeah, but fingers crossed.
Again, it's a stacked card to go out on. The card is brilliant for it.
Yeah. And it's a great venue and atmosphere as well. It's kind of like, it's an odd one sometimes. It's kind of in between a family crowd and a more sort of indie serious crowd, I guess. So you get a bit of a mixed reaction, but I love the family crowds. They're my favourite. So anytime there's anything a little bit like that, I love it. So the venue for that is really good.
Yeah, for sure. And we've spoken about all your belts. I was going to say, when we spoke a couple of years ago, that seemed like it was, and I think I remember us talking about it, but like it was just sort of like you were sort of starting to climb that ladder a bit and get a bit more of a name for yourself. And I think like, again, I feel bad because like I don't age you, but I remember you saying like you'd started training a bit later, like you're obviously like a bit older than some of the other talent, and that like you didn't know how much longer you were going to be doing it based on that. But it must be really rewarding to be sitting here like 2 years after having said that, accomplishing all you've accomplished. And I imagine that sort of gives you that extra push to be like, no, I can go further. Like maybe I haven't like even peaked yet.
Yeah, it's a funny one because obviously there's other stuff that I need to think about, you know, in terms of my real life, not just wrestling. So I'm at a stage now where if I'm touching wood, but if anything happened and I had to retire now, I'm happy with everything that I've done. Is there places I want to go to and work? Yeah, of course there is, but I'm really proud of everything that I've done in the last 2 years, and I could retire happy now.
That's great to hear.
I don't know how much longer I've got left in me. I intend on seeing out this year, and then we'll reassess at that point.
Sure. Well, hopefully it'll be a good year then. Hopefully
yeah, fingers crossed.
Yeah, keep holding.
And this is why I don't want to put a date on anything, because if I get to the end of this year and I've got a great storyline going somewhere, I don't want to be like, no, I said I was finished in December, you know. So I'm just going to see how things play out. But obviously I am conscious of, you know, I'm 34, 35 this year. If I want other things in life, I'm going to have to seriously think about it now.
No, sure. But again, it must be like, again, almost like validating to know that, like, again, a couple of years ago we spoke about all that stuff, and yet that was, like, your breakout was sort of still to come even after that, and you've, like, accomplished so much. Like, I mean, again, I'm sure you don't remember, but, like, a couple of years ago when we spoke, at that point, in your life, just generally and in wrestling, did you, like, think that you could have had sort of, like, the year you've had in wrestling last year?
Whereas, no, I think even at that point, I was like, this is my best year. This is going to be my best year. Look at all the stuff. And then last year was even better. So hopefully we carry on that trend and we've not hit the peak and going back down. Hopefully we can just keep going. I'd like to finish on a high. Yeah. Rather than like, actually, no, this is,
always go out on top. Now. Always go out on top.
Yeah, that's it.
That'll be the match. It'll be the match against Nina. That's got to be your last match when you've got like 7 belts and Nina's got 13 and
I've got to just leave them all to her.
Yeah, literally like leave. Whoever wins is like got every belt in British wrestling.
That's the one.
I think that would be a good ending. I think that would be
I'd be alright with that. Yeah.
Wouldn't be bad, would it? It wouldn't be bad. It wouldn't be bad. I mean, like, talk to me about that in terms of, again, I keep bringing it back to 2 years ago, but like, I just want to know in terms of yourself, like personally, like, was there a change like that you saw in yourself, or like not necessarily like too personal, but like in your life or in your wrestling that like has led to all of this? Like, has anything changed for you like in those 2 years that like has led to this like massive upturn that you've taken, or has it just literally been that slow progression?
I think I'm a lot more comfortable in having like a weekend off now, so I don't really feel like I have the stress of, oh my god, I've got to find all these bookings and I've got to do this and I've got to be here and I've got to be there, and I've just kind of taken a step back, and now all I want is to have fun. And I think because of that, I've probably, and you probably see it with Lana and when I tag with Brady as well, I've just more naturally sort of chilled out with it a little bit. So maybe taking the pressure off is what's actually helped me to progress, because I'm not worrying about what everyone else is doing. I'm not worrying about, oh my god, this promotion, I've not been in touch with me for 3 days, and so it's, I think, and I think that is from getting older, because from the discussions me and Lana have, we both have a similar sort of mindset with that at this point we're just here to have fun and enjoy ourselves. And I think taking the stress off has really helped, and has meant I've been able to progress more, I think.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, you can see that with both of you. I mean, like, again, big up Lana as well, but like also not big up Lana, because she keeps dodging us when we try and get her on the podcast. She's all like, yeah, and then she doesn't, and so Lana, if you're watching this, what's up? Come on.
I'll give her a nudge. Honestly, she doesn't mean to. She's just.
Oh no, I know. It's like no, but she does. She's definitely dodging us specifically. I know. But no, I mean, like, you're both great, and like it seems like that whether you're tagging or like in your solo work, like it just looks like you guys have fun with like your characters and what you're doing and the way you get to interact with the crowd and like your opponents. It just looks like you're out there to enjoy it, and like. Again, almost like you say, like, not really worry about necessarily the outcome or what's to come after that. It's just about, like, enjoying it in that moment.
Yeah. And that, like you say, that is all we want. I know I keep saying it, it's all we want. We just want to enjoy ourselves. We just want to have fun. We've had matches that we've come back from and been like, hey, that match weren't great, but we really enjoyed it anyway. Whereas before, if I come back and I've had a bad match, I'll be beating myself up about it and feeling sad. And until you have that next all right match, you just think about it. Whereas now, I'm like, hey, do you remember when we did this with the crowd? And, we've got this clip of us doing this fun thing. And so it's just, it kind of takes away from the wrestling side of it, I guess, and it gives me something else to focus on that's fun and enjoyable.
Yeah, and speaking of, I think that's a perfect segue into, we are 2 weeks removed from the Multiverse Rumble. How was that? Because, I mean, again, literally like a little while ago, we just recorded with Anita Vaughan as well, who you obviously faced at the show, and then in the Rumble as well. I mean, yeah, it was just a wild day, and not all for the good reasons, obviously. It was, and obviously for yourself, like, and Lana, like, you travel a long way for these, like, for something like Eve. That's a long way to come. How does that feel when you get there and the power goes out at the venue and you're like, ha?
It was the weirdest day because, so on the way down, Lana gets the train from Manchester to Sheffield and I drive us from Sheffield. Have to pick up Kanji on the way as well, so there's like a couple stops.
That already confuses me. So Lana goes north to you and then drives south?
No, Manchester's north to Sheffield. So she comes south. Well, I guess it's kind of...
I thought Sheffield was north of Manchester. Maybe they're closer than I think.
Higher up, yeah. So Manchester, Sheffield, then we pick Kanji up Nottingham, and then we do London.
Oh, I'm embarrassed now. I've let down my north knowledge there. I'm very sorry.
That's okay. So we actually left a bit earlier than the last show we went to because we got stuck in Friday traffic last time. So we were at the venue for about 4:15 because we were trying to avoid the traffic. And in our heads, we were like, we've got plenty of time. I've got no makeup on, so I'm like, I could do my makeup. We were going to film some promos to put out. We were going to, like, have some time in the ring. Like, I brought food, everything. We got all the Rumble stores, so we were going to, try it all on and see what it looked like. And then about 5:30, the power went out. And we were like, oh, so I got half of my makeup done at this point, and I'm like, right, brilliant, that's my ideal. So we're getting updates, power might not be coming on, we might have to cancel. And I'll be honest, I'm sat here thinking, so on the way home, I have to drive back. This is all because Lana won't learn to drive, by the way. So I have to drive from London to, on the M1 to drop Kanji off, past Sheffield, up to Manchester, and then back down to Sheffield, all because Lana Austin is too scared to learn to drive. So my drive home is about 5 hours.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's got to be, yeah.
About 5 hours, pushing 6, between 5 and 6. So I'm sat there thinking, if this show's not going to happen, the sooner we find this out, the better, because I can actually get home at a reasonable time instead of the 3 o'clock that I'm already expecting.
And I imagine it was later than that come the end of the show.
Yes. So I was like there, and I'm selfishly going, hey, if this show's going to be cancelled, can we just do it now? Because, and everybody's kind of like up and down because we're getting like, oh, maybe this time. No, not this time. Maybe this time. And it was just awful. And I'm sat there like, this show's not happening. I'm not putting my gear on. It's not happening. And we planned our match and stuff anyway, and it was all ready to go. And then I think Dan came in about 8:30, was like, power's back on in the next 20 minutes. And I was like, no way. Like, there's no way it's coming on. And sure enough, on pops the light. And I think the show started at 9:20, was it?
Yeah.
And like, ordinarily, if we're on in the first half, we'll leave and make sure we get, because that's an hour, 2 hours extra that we'll get to drive. Because of the Rumble, we couldn't, and we wanted to stay and watch it all as well. So by the time we left, I think it was about midnight, and I got home into bed at 5:30.
Ouch.
Yeah, and it was like, and I'd said this to Lana, I said, tomorrow we're going to feel even worse, because we've had such a high of adrenaline, and then the low when we were like, it's cancelled, then high, then low, then high. So the next day, you always feel way worse if you've had that like adrenaline drop and then rise. So
just because it was start of the year, though, I assume you didn't have a show on the Saturday at least.
No. And this is so part of, I don't know if you remember, me and Lana used to work at Eve separately. We were actually in a feud at Eve.
Yeah.
And the reason we stopped being used there is because of travel. It was just too difficult to sort of organise it. And I said to Dan, look, if me and Lana can work together, I will take Lana home. Like, as long as, obviously we can cover the petrol and stuff, I'm happy to take her home. And Dan was like, yeah, absolutely fine, no worries, that's fine. So anytime I take an Eve booking, I'll try and leave the Saturday free, because I know I'm going to be back at stupid o'clock.
Yeah.
So I'll try and leave the Saturday free, because like Eve's probably number one on my list of places that I want to work at the minute, so
And despite saying that, despite it being top of your list to work at the minute, I bet there was a moment probably around 3 a.m. on that drive back where you were like, maybe I shouldn't have agreed to that.
Oh my god, yeah. Me and Lana were going, there's got to be a different way. And I was thinking, yeah, if you learn to bloody drive, that's how. If you learn to drive. But the next one, so I think the next one we're on has got like a Thursday, Friday, and then we're on True Grit on the Saturday. But I'm going to be like, hey, why don't you sleep at my house? Because then I don't have to drive you home.
I was going to say that. You can just sleep with the bunnies, right?
Yeah, exactly. The problem is that both of us are such home girls. So if anybody asks me to stay over, I'm like, absolutely not. I'll go home. And she's the same. So I'd rather drive.
But you've got the power because you've got the steering wheel.
Yeah, that's it. But I would rather drive till 5:30 in the morning and get back to the bunnies and Brady rather than stay somewhere else.
That's fair. That's fair. Go, give us an insight then. What are the car journeys with Lana Austin like? Because I imagine if it was all in character, it's eventful. But what's it really like?
It's just girls being girls, I think.
What tunes do you have playing? That's the key question.
What music do you have?
Yeah, what tunes do you have? Yeah.
I tend to just put, because my music taste is probably the opposite of Lana's music taste. Like, I still listen to music that I listened to when I was like 15. My favourite band is Panic at the Disco. So
yes! Oh, what a shout!
You know, that's the type of music I'm listening to. Whereas Lana, you know, she's a Barbie girl kind of girl. So I have to put like someone's already pre-made playlist on that's like 90s music. And then we had ZZ in the car the other day as well. And obviously ZZ was born in like 2007 or whatever.
Yeah, I don't like that's not real, right? People aren't actually born then, right? Like,
it's disgusting. The amount of like references we make to stuff, and she's like, I don't know who that is. You didn't know who Peter Andre was.
I was gonna say she definitely wouldn't have got that Debbie and Anita were ab fab right in the number.
No idea. No idea. She barely understood the Baywatch reference, so she said I don't know what that is. I was like, no, you're not going.
Oh, that's so upsetting.
I know.
So upsettingly young.
So young.
Oh, that is heartbreaking. That is heartbreaking. I'm with you with Panic at the Disco though. Like in that case, I mean, I live in London. There's never going to be an opportunity or a reason we'd be in the car together. But if we are, that'll be a jam session because Panic,
absolutely.
My Chemical Romance, Fall Out Boy, Paramore, all that sort of stuff is like that's my roadhouse right there.
Count me in. I took ZZ to the final ever Panic at the Disco gig in Manchester. It was such a traumatic time. So obviously I'm devastated because they're breaking up.
Yeah.
But it just so happens their final gig is in Manchester. So I'm like, yes, perfect. That's where I would have gone anyway. Perfect. The day of, it snowed. And I mean, like, horrendous. Nobody was going anywhere. And I was like, what do I do? So ZZ's got to get, she was living in Nottingham at the time, so she had to get from Nottingham to me in Sheffield and Sheffield to Manchester. Nottingham wasn't so bad. It was only when you got into Sheffield, it's not too bad. And Sheffield's really hilly.
Yeah.
So everywhere you go is a risk. And I was like, oh, what do we do? And they didn't cancel the gig. So I was like, I'm never going to get to see them after this. What do we do? So we left it. And by the time we got there, my road it has one bus that goes up and down it. So we're lucky it gets gritted. So my road was okay. And I was like, I think I can get to the motorway from my road and not go on any side roads at all. So we were like, right, let's do it. And we took us hours to get there, but we got there and it was the best.
Worth it?
She didn't know much about Panic at the Disco. Like, she knew the odds and sods of it, and I was like, come with me, and now she loves them, so
nice.
I feel like I've educated her.
Definitely worth it.
Yeah, definitely worth it. I only cried once.
That's impressive.
Yeah, it was impressive, and it was like a little, like, inside, don't let everyone see me cry, but, like, I knew I was crying, like...
Yeah, I get that. Like, again, I'm not much of a crier, but, like, I had that little moment when MCR did their, like, reunion tour.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, went to see them, and I was like, oh, this is a moment. These are emotions I wasn't prepared to feel.
Yeah. It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. It's mad. It's mad.
And I did leave it thinking, like, oh, because I've seen them so many times, obviously, every time they're here. I've seen them at festivals, like, I've seen them God knows how many times. So I was like, they're never going to sing I Write Sins again. That's it.
No, Brendan will be back at one point.
I was like, this is the last time I'm going to hear it live.
Brendan will be back at one. They'll bring it back at some point.
I would hope so.
I'm confident in that.
Yeah.
It must be nice to have converted ZZ as well.
Oh, yeah. I'm educating her in good... I took her to Arctic Monkeys last year as well. So
nice.
That was an education.
Nice. Yeah, that's a proud moment. Like, I had it, like... Again, as a pop punk fan, I'm sure you'll agree, but, like... So when I met my partner, she, like, really didn't like pop punk. and I used to really annoy her because I used to play Girl All the Bad Guys Want by Bowling for Soup just constantly. And like, so she's like, it was a little mean, so she's like a little short. And so I used to put it on my phone and then put it on top of the cupboard so she couldn't get my phone down and turn it off. And then so it was just constantly playing, and now she loves Bowling for Soup. So
you fixed it.
Exactly. You hear it long enough, and you're like, okay, I appreciate it now. I get it.
Yeah, that's it.
But big ups.
Educated.
Yeah. Big up Zizi as well. Like, what a year she's had as well. Like, real breakout year for her. She's doing great. You've had a bit of like on and off with her, haven't you? Certain promotions, like a little rivalry, a little teamwork on other places. Like, that must be fun.
Yeah, I love it. Like, we have great chemistry working together and working against each other. So if anybody's ever like, hey, can you bring anyone in the car? I'm like, Zizi. So if she ever goes, I'm going to be like, I'm back on my own again now. I was
going to say, like, you've had some great matches with her, some great teaming with her as well, as like up north. But again, does anything beat like beating her up as a shark?
No, that was the best. She was so funny with that because I'd said to her, I was like, hey, me and Lana have got this idea. We need a shark. How do you feel about doing it? And I was like, I said, Eve, I need to ask Dan, but how do you feel about it? And at first she was like, oh, I don't want my Eve debut to be as a shark. I was like, Zizi, it's not your Eve debut, you're a shark, like, don't stress about it. And I was like, I can get someone else to do it if you want. No, I want to do it. So instantly, as soon as there was a chance I might take it away, she's like, no, I want to do it. And,
she's like, I don't want to do it, but don't ask anyone else.
Yeah, that's it. And I borrowed the shark from Kyle Kingsley. I initially asked Harley Hudson because she'd got one, but we couldn't get together in time, so I borrowed it from Kyle Kingsley. And in my head, the shark was like the same size as Zizi, and it kind of like inflated around her head. It's not.
A lot of.
She put it on backstage. That was the first time she put it on, and I was like, oh, what have we done? Like, how are you going to get in the ring? I don't know how you're going to do this.
That was certainly something.
Oh, we couldn't see. We could kind of like see shadows behind this black curtain, so we could see it moving. We were like, is she in? Is she in? What's going on? And then we heard that, way. I was like, okay, that must be her getting in. She's in. And then it sounded like a horror film backstage because all you could hear is Sky screaming. But you had like the Jaws music playing, Sky's reaction to it, the noise of the crowd. We were like, what is going on? Like, what are we going out to?
It was mental, right? Did Zizi tell you that 2023 has seen her dressed not only as a shark but also as a dinosaur?
She made me watch the match the day before. She was like, I'm desperate for you to watch this match. And she sent it to me before, but I just hadn't at the time. And I watched it, I was like, Zizi, this is horrendous. Like, this really is trash. And she's like, it was the best time. I was like, as long as you enjoyed yourself, that's all that matters.
So she was loving that, but had reservations about being the shark?
I think she was just, like pretending that really. She was like, oh, I don't want to be a shark, but actually.
You do, yeah. Why would you not? I mean, no, big up Zizi to that, because that's like two of the standout, especially for me, like I was at both shows, like two of my standout moments from 2023 in wrestling were both of those matches, because it's just mental.
Yeah, and we didn't even practice, because the lights had gone on, we didn't practice her getting out of the ring. So we were like, how are you going to get out? And she was like, I don't know, we'll work it out. So me and Lana are tipping her, and I'm like, I have no idea if she can get her hand out. I don't know if she can, like, wear her legs. So I'm just thinking, like, see what happens. And luckily she was fine, but
that's all good.
She was just like, yeah, whatever. I suppose that's the benefit of being 20 to 34, because at 20 I probably would have said whatever. Yeah,
you're more up for anything then, aren't you? You're more like, yeah, fuck it, let's see how it goes.
Yeah, and that's her approach to everything.
Yeah, no, legend. She's got a big future. I'm excited to see what's next with you. I'm excited to see that.
Massive. She's incredible. She's great. I can't say enough good words about her. I don't want to inflate her ego because.
No, you don't. Yeah. No, just the costumes are what's inflated.
That's it, yeah, just those, yeah. But I can't rant and rave about her enough. I will always, if anybody ever needs any talent on any shows I'm on, I'm always like, hey, this is who you need. And then she, absolutely smashes it, and she keeps these bookings, and she gets asked back every time. It's, it's
that was your last True Grit title defense, right, Zizi?
Yeah. So that was the first. It was the first no DQ match Zizi's ever done. So obviously the first one me and her have done, and going into it, she was like an excited puppy for a start. Like, I want to go through the table, and I'm like, okay. Give me one. And so she was, and as she came out of it, she went, "Do you know those chair shots? They really hurt." I was like, "Yeah, I told you they would."
I thought you were going to go the other end of it. I thought you were going to be like, you got backstage and she was like, "Let's do it again, let's go."
No, she was like, "They really hurt." And to be fair to her, other than going through the table, the only thing she asked for is, "Can I put you in the bin?" That's literally all she asked to do. She didn't have to hit me with anything else. She just wanted to put me in the bin. And that was the worst thing, because she put me in the bin and then booted it. And obviously she can't see my face, but where she booted it was right where my face is. So the metal just like hit my nose. And I was like, I'm trapped in this bin forever now, that's it.
This is it, the vacuum seal has hit.
Yeah, I said to her, like, that's my worry, that like the bin gets crushed and I'm stuck because it's tight. Like, I'm not a small girl, so it's tight on me anyway. But yeah, so that was really, really fun. We had a great time.
No, that's cool.
I'm covered in various marks from the kendo stick that she attacked me with, but other than that, it was...
Other than that, it's all gold. All gold.
Yeah, that's it.
No, I love True Grit. They've gone, like, super under the radar, I feel like, this year. Like, I really need to check out more of their stuff. But obviously being down south is tricky. But, like, I feel like they're the ones that, like... sort of like how North were a couple of years ago.
Yes.
Where, like, they're this underground thing that are really thriving. They're just waiting for that breakout, waiting for people to get to know them.
Yeah. They're by far my favourite show to work at the minute. The crowd's incredible, the venue's incredible, the management are absolutely great. Like, he's got so many ideas, but he's always open to listen to anything that I've got to suggest. You know, he's keeping me going with multiple storylines. He's trusted me enough to put the belt on me, which was just a dream come true. I get to work with Brady there, which obviously, you know, along with working with Lana, it's my favourite thing to do. And the crowd, you know, he's filling the venues out almost to sell out. I think there was near 300 in.
Wow.
Last week, and the way he sort of pushes for women's wrestling, and we've always got a fair spot on the card. He's willing to give us these, you know, no DQ matches. It's great. Sorry.
That's all right. I'm a little the same as well.
I'm dying.
2,000 years later.
No.
I promise my cardio is pretty good, I swear.
Well, I was gonna ask you actually. You mentioned teaming with Brady at True Grit. I was gonna ask you about Brady, just because I know we talk about it a lot in the DMs. It's all good, Brady. If you're watching this, it's all good stuff. But I mean, it must be so nice. Again, we spoke about 2 years ago about like this fact that you guys essentially like the key in your relationship is the fact that you love traveling together and working together and doing all that stuff. And it must be really nice that you've both sort of elevated at sort of like the same rate over the last couple of years, and are both sort of like I would argue. I know that in our like Grapplatory Awards I called Amira and Oku the power couple.
Yeah, what was that about?
I'm sorry, I gave it to you guys last year. I was like I've got to change it up this year. I can't just give it to you guys every year.
Yeah, you can. It's the truth.
Well, the thing is like you legit, like especially in the North, I feel like you guys definitely are, and like it must be nice to like I in my mind at least, it's really nice seeing you guys basically just like own the scene together. So that must be really nice for you guys as well.
Yeah, like nowadays if I have to do a show without him, I'm a bit like, oh, I don't really want to go. So like Lana's kind of my replacement for Brady on some of the shows that he's not on. Just as stacked,
just as ripped.
Yeah. But yeah, so like, yeah, it's great. And I honestly don't want to do anything if he's not on there. And it makes it easier for us travel-wise and stuff like that. And obviously we both work during the week, so, you know, the weekend is kind of our time. So the more time we get to spend together, the better. And, you know, I watch him wrestle and I'm in awe of, you know, his talent and his ability. So it's great to be there at all his matches and, you know, being able to support him and vice versa. And I can always ask him for feedback, and you know, he's there live and he can tell me what he thinks. I can run ideas by him because he very much is the ideas man. You know, if I'm struggling with something, I know I can go to him and be like, okay, I've got this. What do you think we can put here? So yeah, great to have him around all the time.
No, I love that. And like again, like it's great that you're like sort of back at Eve a little more regularly. Hopefully you'll be back down more. But like Brady's someone I always say when they're like, who do you want to see down here? I'm like, get Brady. You've got to get Brady. Like I want to see Brady down here more. And like it hurts that he's not. I'm like, what are promotions thinking genuinely? Because like I feel like he's so good, so talented. That, like,
he's got everything, and that's what people always say when they see him. You know, he's got the ability, he's got the look, he's got the strength, he's got the agility. He's just a complete all rounder. And obviously, I know I'm biased, and people are going to think, oh well, she is going to say that about our fella. But like you say, anyone that sees him, everyone says the same thing. He's so underutilized. It's criminal.
He is. Big up, Brady. You're doing great. Like, come down here more, though. Force people. I don't care how it happens. Like, get blackmail on promoters. I don't give a shit. Like, just get booked down here. That's all I want. That's all I want. But I imagine it's like that. Like, for you guys, literally just, like, roaming the locker room, like, hand in hand. Like, you got your baseball bat, and I feel like people are just cowering in fear. Because that's what I like to imagine it's like. Because I do feel like you guys genuinely just, like, are so good up there together. Like, you work so well together. And I feel like it's just like a great, obviously it's a good dynamic you have because you're together. But like, you know what I mean? I feel like it's just like such a power couple-y kind of thing. Like that you guys are just both thriving up there right now.
Thank you. I think like, just because you're a couple doesn't mean you will work well together in the ring. It doesn't always convey because it's a different thing. And so it's such a nice thing that it does work for us. We've always had, we were working together before we were a couple, so you know we've grown that way. So it's nice that we've got that in the ring as well as obviously outside of the ring. And nowadays he can just give me a look, and I know what he's trying to tell me across the ring without him even sort of saying anything to me. So that is always nice.
It's like, what is it? Like the saying is, what is it? Like finish each other's sentences. You guys finish each other's, I don't know, clotheslines.
Yeah,
some sort of tag thing.
It. Yeah, absolutely that. Yeah.
Love it. Well, I have one more question before I get onto our final feature, and I'm actually upset that I didn't ask this before because it was more on topic earlier in the conversation. But I did want to ask about you and Lana Austin. We've spoken about like car music. We've spoken about how the tag team came about. But I think the key question of this entire podcast is who is actually the better singer?
Me.
Is it?
Yeah, definitely.
Does Lana know that?
Lana thinks she's the better singer, but she's not.
She not?
No, it's definitely me. With this angelic voice, listen.
What's your like karaoke anthem? What would you go to?
Gloria Gaynor, I Will Survive.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something like pop punk emo or something, but that's
No. I used to play this game. You probably remember it from when we were young. It was called Sing Star, I think.
Oh, I had Sing Star. Yeah.
That's anything that I do on karaoke is anything that I learn on there.
Right, nice. Mine was Bowling for Soup aren't even my favourite band, but they seem to be intrinsically linked to my life. Mine was I had the rock hits or something, and it was 1985 by Bowling for Soup was on that, and I nailed that every time.
Yeah, people used to come round and they'd be like, "You're not a very good singer, and you're hitting all the notes. Like how?" And I'm like, I have done this song many times. I know how to cheat my way through this one.
There's a certain point when I learned that like you could just literally like hum the note as long as you hum it at the right thing. Like you don't even need to sing, just like as long as you're getting the note, perfect score.
Yeah, that's it. I feel like my parents must have hated me when I bought that because all of my friends used to come around. We used to play Sing Star for like hours on end. I bet they were just upstairs like, oh my god, what have we done? Right,
this is happening now. Right, we got to get down on this. Like, I only say down because it's got to happen at Eve. Because I feel like it's easier for you guys to travel south because you're already booked on the show. But we need Brit Rest Sing Star in the locker room before Eve.
Don't get Lana started. You'll not get her away from it once she starts.
Like Lana, your matches are no.
Do you know it's funny though because like we've done the Lana Oki stuff, like we obviously do that with her, and like the amount of times she'll come to me and be like, what song do I sing? And it will just make something up, and she's like, I don't know the words, what are the words? And you can see her panicking, and she just goes in the middle of the song and just carries on.
Good improv skills.
I think it was at Catch, we were singing My Heart Will Go On, Celine Dion, the Titanic song. And whatever was happening, it was easy actually. She wasn't doing whatever she was supposed to be doing quick enough. So we had to keep singing. And at one point, the sheer panic of Lana turning to me going, I don't know the words. I've gone past this point, and the crowd are just like pissing themselves at us basically.
Oh, sorry.
I don't know what the words are now. We've gone too far.
The fans have no right to judge because like we always do like different chants to like certain songs, and then we, like, you know, it's very clear that half the crowd singing the chant don't know the words to the actual song.
Absolutely.
And you're like, come on.
Yeah. Unlike Graps and Claps, who seem to have not just a chorus part of the song, they come and they've like got a whole entire song, and I'm like, you clearly sat in the pub before you came here and made this song, and they're like, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. That's commitment to the cause.
Yeah, very much so. They have provided me with some great laughs.
No, absolutely. Well, we got to our final feature. Last time you were on, I think we did the anatomy of a pro wrestler with you, which was sort of like getting to know you. Now we've got a new feature where you're gonna sort of give us a little bit of a bad mouthing to your fellow locker room mates, because this feature's called Dishing the Dirt. And I'm going to ask you some questions, and I want you to... They're not all bad, to be fair. They're not all bad. But I'm going to give you some questions, and I want you to let me know which member of the locker room it most associates with. It can be from any locker room. It can be from like Eve or True Grit or BWR or wherever.
Okay.
So the first one is, who's always running late?
Adam Bolt.
Yeah. Is he?
Adam Bolt. I'm bad, but Adam is equally as bad.
We had Adam on the show. I don't think he said you. I don't think he said himself either. So whoever he said must also be late for other things.
He's lying. It's him. And he's always got an excuse. There's always an accident or something like that. Every time.
Oh, Adam, you got to up your game. Come on. Punctuality is the key.
I can't really slag him off. I am equally as bad.
Yeah, but if you've got to go pick Lana up and everyone else, then it's...
That is true, yeah. Yeah, I'm doing the driving, so I can be...
I was going to say, I feel like that's a good excuse.
Yeah.
The next one is, again, this sort of brings us back to the Lana car journey, so it might be her. But who has the worst music taste?
Brady Phillips. Hands down.
What's Brady into?
Country music.
Oh, and you're still with him?
I know. He's got a very set genre that he listens to be fair. It's 70s rock or country music.
Oh.
Anything else, he has no idea.
70s isn't even the best era of rock.
It's just, honestly, that's all he listens to. Terrible.
Oh,
and
Brady.
the country songs, they all sound the same.
Yeah.
I take the mick out of him all the time. I'm like, I can tell you the lyrics to this country song. In some form, it will be my truck, alcohol, something about his wife leaving him. It's all the same. All the same.
Do you know the comedian Bo Burnham?
Yes.
Have you seen his country song?
No.
I'll send you that, when we're done.
Okay.
And it's exactly that. Literally, he's like, I bet you I can write a country song that sounds like every other country song you've ever heard. And it legit is, just 100%.
Yeah, every time.
Oh, Brady. That's disappointing. He doesn't strike me as a country guy either.
So weird with it. So weird.
I mean, kudos to you for sticking with him that long for that.
I know. Do you know what's bad though? I'm, showing you how geeky we are here, but every now and again we play this game on YouTube that's like Jeopardy, but it's music. So they just play like a little clip of the song and you have to say what the song is.
Yeah.
And one of the topics is country. So every time it comes on, I'm like, and he never knows it. I'm like, this is all you listen to. You're not contributing anywhere else.
Yeah, but that's the problem with country, right? It all sounds the same, so you never know who it is.
Yeah, that is true. And then sometimes there's a rock music one, which he knows better than me. And he'll be like, oh, it's this person. I'm like, quicker. And he never gets there.
Oh, Brady. Oh, I'm so disappointed. I'm so let down. Next time I see him in the ring, I'm going to feel so disappointed knowing this now. Just not going to be able to look at him the same.
No, it's not cool at all.
Oh, Brady. That's a letdown. That is a letdown. The next one is, who's the comedian of the locker room? Who can you always count on to make you laugh the most?
Comedian of the locker room. Millie McKenzie.
Yeah. Love Millie.
Millie's great. Yeah. Turbine DeReese is probably my best moment in wrestling so far.
I don't even know how anything tops that. It was the build-up as well, with Doris being like, I want to debut on Eve, and then it actually, like, the music hitting, and you're like, who's it going to be? Yeah. It's obviously not going to be Doris. And Millie just slayed it. It was incredible.
So funny. I had one of my friends, who's not a wrestler, screenshotted me Doris's thing where he said, I want to debut for Eve. And he put it in the group chat, it's like the eye emojis, like he was doing something wrong. And I was like, no, Millie's going to dress up as him. And she was like, oh, okay. Almost like he thought Doris was being a bit of an arsehole or something. I was like, no, it's going to be funny.
I saw it and I was like, what has he got planned? I was like, what's happened here?
It's so funny. It's just Millie's face of enjoyment while she was doing it as well was just next level.
I think we talk about enjoyment and stuff, but like that's the thing with Millie is like you can like feel like in every match she's just having the time of her life.
Yeah. Right. And it makes you have the time of your life. I wrestled her at Elevation and I was doing the Karen gimmick there. And there's a point where me and her are screaming at each other, and if you zoom in both of our faces, we're both just absolutely howling because we're just screaming stupid stuff at each other about making complaints. But if anybody zoomed in, you can see us we've just gone.
Yeah, I don't know how anyone keeps a straight face with Millie in the ring, especially when she's like dancing. Like credit to anyone who can keep a straight face during that, because
it is difficult. It's difficult.
Big up Millie. Yeah, what a moment that was. That's going to be tough to top as a moment for like 2024.
Oh yeah,
like something wild is going to have to happen.
So funny. So funny.
Yeah.
And when she was battle rapping with Sapphire.
Oh, I wouldn't even call it rap. I don't even know what I was barely a rap, but
so good. You say your beats are shit or something. I was like, that's great.
But you can't. I can't see you.
Yeah.
Just ridiculous.
Your shit.
Yeah. Amazing. Yeah, love Millie. That was great. The next one is either like for their match or leaving after. Who takes the longest to get ready?
Longest to get ready. Oh, leaving is Brady Phillips. Oh my God, trying to get him out of a venue. Oh, I wanted to kill him at True Grit the other day. It was like, because True Grit's not far from us, it's about an hour. We can get home at a reasonable time and have like a normal night. And he was just chatting. I packed his bag for him because he was just there. So I'm just like, he was talking to Saxon Huxley. Great, like we don't see him very often. But we're going to see him in 2 weeks at Wrestling in Newcastle. You can have this conversation there. You've been planning a match with him all night. Get in the car. And he was parked in front of Synergy's car, or they're not Synergy now, what are they? What are they now? Whatever they're called.
I thought they were still Synergy, I don't know.
No,
yeah, I only think of them as Synergy.
I want to say Meat Wagon, but that might be wrong. Anyway, he was parked in front of their car, and I could see them like...
move.
Yeah.
Brady. The country music now, it's all coming out.
Yeah.
It's all coming out.
A nightmare.
The next one is... I feel like I know what you're going to say to this because you wrestle at Eve. So, who brings the best food to the locker room?
Oh, Nina Samuels.
Of course it is, right?
Nina Samuels, every day, yeah.
I mean, I don't know anyone that's never said Nina Samuels. Actually, no, a couple of people have not said Nina Samuels. And I'm like, you've clearly never been on a show with Nina Samuels.
Yeah, you've never been treated to Nina Samuels bacon. Oh, it's great.
Have you had the cookies and the brownies?
I don't think I've had the cookies. I've definitely had the brownies. I've had the cream egg brownies and the blondies.
Yeah, those are good.
But I didn't get one because the last Eve show, I'm trying to be good food-wise, and it was the start of the month, so I was, and I could see Nina's bacon, and I was like, I really want it, but once you start, that's it.
Oh, yeah, exactly. They are so good. I don't want to take credit for this, but I will take credit for this. We had her on the podcast, and I suggested to her that she should sell them at shows, and then she started selling them at shows.
Clever.
And, I don't want to take credit. She never fully gave us credit, but, I'll take it, because, there are cookies at shows now, and they're really good.
That's all that matters, isn't it? Yeah. Who cares? Who came up with the idea? Now we get cookies.
Exactly. Doesn't matter. Doesn't even matter. But yeah, no, if she brings the cookies next time, try, because in my mind, the cookies are better than the brownies.
Okay, I'll go for the cookies next time then.
Nice. Yeah, let me know. Okay, the next one is sort of like the music one as well. The only one I think is like actual dirt on someone. And I swear, if you say Brady Phillips, it's going to be the funniest thing ever. We're not talking about in the ring now. We're talking out the ring, leaving the venue or arriving at the venue, whichever. Who has the worst dress sense?
The worst dress sense. Oh, Sash.
Is it?
Sash. Oh, yeah, like in his bloody tracksuit and stuff. Horrendous. So I got this gold and blue. The tracksuit that he wears in the ring, he wears just for normal life.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sash.
Oh, I thought it was just a gimmick.
No, he wears that all the time. We went away, like a group of us, to this like house with a hot tub and stuff. Yeah, and some of the stuff that he was wearing, questionable.
At best.
At best, yeah.
Brilliant. Oh, Sash, got to up your game there as well. I thought it was all the gimmick, but if it's not, that's disturbing.
Where's it? In fact, I went to training the other day and he got it on and he was like, I'm filming a promo. I was like, yeah, right.
Sure
you are.
Brilliant. The next one's on the nicer side of that, and I think you're probably not going to say Sash for this. So we're in this, I was going to say hypothetical. It's not a hypothetical world, because it's happened to like so many wrestlers. You've forgotten your gear for a show, but what is hypothetical is it's one size fits all, and you can go to any wrestler in the locker room and say, I need your gear for the show. Whose do you look at and you're like, I could definitely pull that off?
Alexis Falcon.
Alexis has some
Disney
good gear.
stuff, and I feel like I could do it.
Yeah, she has some good gear, Alexis.
Yeah, I love her Hades gear.
Yeah, that is sick.
Yeah, real good stuff.
You big into Disney as well?
Yeah, well, she beat me to Nightmare Before Christmas. Me and Brady were going to do Jack and Sally, and then she turned up in the Sally one, and I was like, fuming, I can't do it now.
How could you? There's always next year's Multiverse Rumble.
That is true.
Just saying.
That is true. Yeah, we were. Yeah, and then she turned up in it, and I think can't do it now.
Yeah, no. Otherwise, you'll look like a copycat, won't you? And then
might just have to borrow hers one day and be like, look, for Halloween, this is what we want to do. Just lend it me.
She can't say no because she knows she's got it. That's the thing. She's shown she's got it.
True. Yeah, that is true.
No, big up Alexa. Some great gear.
Yeah, she does.
The next
she makes
one,
most of it herself as well.
She does as well, doesn't she?
She decorates a lot of it herself, and every jacket she makes.
She's got an eye for it, hasn't she? Like, you can tell.
She does.
Like, yeah.
She does.
No, really cool. The next one is, I always say it's sort of counterproductive to ask a wrestling locker room, but who's the most competitive?
Zizi.
Is she?
Yeah. Oh God, she's unbearable.
In what sense?
So we went bowling once, just me and her. I don't know why. She was making me some gear, I think, and we went bowling after. And I'm terrible at bowling, really bad. So we walked in and I said, listen, I'm really bad at this. Turns out so is Zizi. She was so angry that I beat her. Like wouldn't speak to me for a good few minutes after it finished. Yeah, she's so competitive.
What sort of bad at bowling are we talking about? Are we talking barriers up or?
No, we didn't have the barriers up.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
But I think we played 2 games and I beat her in both.
And she was just not.
She's obviously not used to being beaten, and because I was so terrible, she was livid. She'll always be like, no, I wasn't, but honestly, she didn't speak to me for about 2 minutes.
That is hilarious. Amazing. Yeah. Amazing. Yeah. The next one's this little hypothetical world where everyone in the locker room has invited you to a party on the same night, but you can, of course, only say yes to one invitation. Whose party are you going to? Who's throwing the party that's the most worth going to?
Amira, I think.
Oh, Amira would throw a hell of a party, I imagine.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Right?
The fancy dress element would be.
Backstage dressed as Theresa May the other day. Oh, she was so funny.
The X-rated Theresa May, let's not forget.
X-rated Theresa. There's an X-rated video of me and Amira backstage, which I hope never gets out.
Oh my God.
Yeah, she gave me a lap dance, put it that way, dressed as Theresa May. X-rated Theresa May. You
say hope it never gets out, but now this seems like all I wanted. Like, this is like everything I've ever needed from wrestling.
No. I'm sure there's videos of her giving multiple of those lap dances. I don't think it was just for me.
That's for the like the OnlyFans, and you got to pay to see that.
That's it, yeah. She's got an OnlyFans, hasn't she? So
yeah. You want to see Theresa May grinding on one of the Baywatch girls.
Yeah, pretty much.
Whose idea was Baywatch? Was that you or Lana?
Lana's. We were looking at just like duos that we could be. Because obviously we watched duo together, and we said we didn't really want to do a wrestling duo. We wanted to do something else. So I think she just googled like matching outfits, and that was one. And I was like, that one, I've got an idea. And then I was like, the shark. We could do the shark.
Amazing. I love that. That it all came together perfectly for one moment.
Yeah.
Love
it was like as soon as I saw, I think because Harley Hudson and Kingsley had done the Sharks Atomic. As So obviously, as soon as I saw that, I was like, "Oh right, okay, I've got an idea for it," and remembered they'd done the shark stuff. So
Yeah.
I think I can put this in motion.
And the final one, I feel like you could say Brady for this actually, and it's actually a good one, because it's who would you choose to be your partner in the zombie apocalypse?
Yeah, Brady, definitely.
The muscle, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
He's not going to be happy with you though. You're feeding him to the wolves, basically.
I know.
Defend me.
No, I feel like he'd save us both, you know. So I'm not feeding him. He's a protector.
And you've got the bat anyway, as well. Like
that is true.
I think that's like the bat plus, like, you know, I mean, you're a bit of a powerhouse as well, and Brady as well. Like those 4 arms together plus the bat.
Should be alright.
Zombies don't have a chance, do they? Like.
Yeah, that's it. I watch enough zombie films to know what I'm doing.
Yeah, you know? I'm prepared for this. I understand.
Yeah, that's it.
No, brilliant. Well, that brings us nicely to the end of the feature, nearly the end of the podcast. Ivy, it's been a pleasure having you back here. I hope you've enjoyed it.
Yeah, loved it. Thank you for having me.
Of course, no, thank you for coming back on. It's been truly wonderful to see like how much you've progressed in the last 2 years since we last spoke, and genuinely so thrilled for everything you've done last year, and can't wait to see what this year holds for you.
Thank you so much.
We end the show with another new feature that you've only done last time, because it's relatively new to the podcast, where our last guest leaves a question for our next guest. And this is going to come at you completely without context, so you're not allowed to know who left it, essentially.
Okay.
So the question you've been left... Oh, it's a good one, actually. It's a wrestling-related one. They're not all wrestling-related, but this one is wrestling-related. Who is the best promo of all time?
Best promo of all time? I don't know. Best promo of all time?
Is it Lana Austin?
Yeah, Lana Austin. I'm not saying Lana Austin. Absolutely not saying Lana Austin. It's like for me, and it's a little bit of nostalgia, but it's The Rock. Like, he was my favourite. If it wasn't for The Rock, I wouldn't have watched wrestling, I don't think. And it was never about wrestling when I was a kid, so it's got to be about promos and presentations. So for me, I'm going to go The Rock. Yeah,
I don't think that's a bad choice, though. Like, the person who left this question said Stone Cold, and I feel like that's another, like, cliche, but, like, it's a cliche for a reason, right? Like, they were both so 100%. Good on the mic that, like, you know...
I was trying to be, like... Instantly, The Rock and Austin came to my head, but obviously for nostalgia reasons, that when I was a kid, that was everything. But I'm sure there'll be somebody else I'm like, yeah, they do a great promo, but for everything that goes with it, I think I've got to go The Rock. No,
it's a great choice. It's a great choice. Brilliant. Well, that brings us to the end of the podcast and our usual close, which is giving our guests one final bit of promo time. So, Ivy, you've had a brilliant 2023. You've got 5 belts with you as we enter 2024. I mean, obviously, I'm sure you want to keep hold of all those, but for anyone watching who wants to come and see you with all your belts, whether it's up north or it's at Eve, down south, anywhere else in the country, why is Ivy going to steal the show?
Because I'm definitely not a Karen, so whatever happens, nobody can claim that I am definitely not a Karen, right? And I don't want to hear any of that. I'm just to the point. And I understand my rights as a consumer, okay? That's why.
The starting a promo with "I'm definitely not a Karen" it's a bold move, but I respect it. I respect it hugely. Ivy, thank you so much for coming on.
No, thank you for having me.